Hey Lee, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, Fred. How are you?
Good. Kind of nervous, but we're making it happen.
Yeah, just go through it. Don't kill yourself over the process. Make it as clean as possible.
Okay. Um, now
Just
I don't believe my camera's working, so
I turn
just
I
make.
turn mine off anyway,
Oh, okay.
so you're
Okay.
fine.
So you know how to do the.
Good, Fred. How are you?
Kind of nervous, but oops, we're making it happen. Oops, I'm having that on. Okay.
That's okay.
Okay. So you have the slides.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me make you a real simple one.
Well, we are streaming live right now for those that signed up. And just by way of introduction, my name is Fred the Realtor with Keller Williams Realty. And we are just going to go through uh, some brief things so that we can get this broadcast going. If you're on the Facebook Hangout, you can actually comment on the lines below in the Facebook page, and we'll be able to respond to your comments as you are talking. And I just want to say thank you for those that are here and joining us. And with Lee Hanish and myself, we are going to be doing some awesome things in regards to getting a listing before 2016. It kind of matches the listing before 2016 that allows you to really get in there and make some business before 2016. I'm excited. I hope everyone had an excellent holiday season this past Friday, and then another safe one on this Thursday going into Friday. Crazy stuff happens. So we want to say I hope you're having a good one and will have a good one. And so we're going to wait for a few more people to get online before we start the broadcast. So if you just bear with us, we're not going to waste your time, but we're going to go through the process that helps you through the monster marketing system. Do you have anything to say, Lee, before we go on?
No, we're literally going to talk about it transparently and your experiences with it. So if you're on the line, it'll probably cover the frustrations you're having,
Oh,
why
yes.
systems don't actually work the way that we've all been told that they should work. But yes, absolutely, we'll go through it in detail.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're just going to wait for a few more to come on board, and then from there we will get started. Get started. Glad to have all of you here on today. And I'm just going to wait for the professional Lee Hanish to tell me when to get started with my story. And then that will be the beginning of showing you that this system really does work. It really works when you work the system. The system actually does work. It actually gets you in front of sellers 95% of the time. And you're rewarded actually when you first actually do it. When you first go out there, you're actually going to see yourself getting face to face with clients that are out there that are actually raising their hands. So I want you to be able to ask any questions that you think you might have, and we'll be able to go from there. So,
Are
as
they able to, do we know if they're able to see my screen?
are they able to see your screen? Yes. All I have to do
Okay.
is click it. When I click it, there
Okay,
it
good.
goes. Okay. Yeah.
Great.
So they'll be able to see it once you put it up. So um, we're gonna make sure that everybody gets able to see it. So I'm gonna let the timer go down to 000, and then when it goes down to 000, we would start the webinar or the Google Hangout. We have 57 seconds, and I'm glad that you all came in early today to actually make sure you reserved your spot. If you have any comments, go ahead and Just type them in the Facebook comment section, and we'll be able to respond to them right away. And so, previous or upcoming webinars and hangouts that we do, you're going to be able to actually get on the broadcast and actually talk to us, to be able to share your experiences and to be able to join us on the hangout so that we can see how you're doing out there in the marketing field. So this is what they call uh, I don't know what they call in in Washington, filibustering, but we have 3 seconds, three, two, one, and we are getting started now. So I want to first of all say thank you to everyone who is joining us here on today. My name is Fred Howard. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty, part of the ALC. Been with Keller Williams for the past 10 years. And I tell people, just to give you an idea of what I do a lot of things. If you look at my Facebook page, I'm a pastor, I'm a actor, I'm a publisher, and I am a realtor. I have four things that going for me. I have a passion, I have a career, and I have a job, and I have a hobby. My passion drives everything that I do. My career pays for everything I do. My job gives me my W-2, and my hobby takes me away from everything else. So just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from. But I want you to enjoy this short but power-packed field hangout. Again, if you have any questions, go ahead and comment down there on the Facebook link below, and you'll be able to get your questions answered. Today, I want to share with you how I actually turned 36 labels into 2 listings and into 4 sales. That's 36 labels, 2 listings, and 4 sales. And the interesting thing about it is I had one that I just closed on yesterday. It was a difficult one. This one was a difficult one because it was a short sale. But even though it was a short sale, we actually kept the seller in our grasp for as long as it took. The interesting thing is the label that we put the property on was not the actual property. The seller was actually going through foreclosure in his primary residence, and we put the label on that residence, and they called. And once I had the face-to-face meeting with the client, they actually told me that they were going through a loan modification, and I went on the phone and I helped them through that process. This was with another bank that they were going through. And then after they said, we want our property, we don't want to lose our property, we're going to try hard to make it work, I told them, okay, that's great. That's great. So whatever I can do to help you keep your property, I said, I will help you do that. And so that happened when I left the label, probably within that week, 2 to 3 days. About 2 weeks later, I got a call from the same owner. They called me over to the house and they said, well, we're working on our loan modification for our home. However, we have another property that's about 2 miles away, and we need to sell it because that was actually going through foreclosure also. And so we were able to not list the property that they're in, but we were able to list the property that they owned. We were able to double end it and be able to, now we're actually going to be able to either triple end it or do a quadruple, because we actually sold it to an investor. We had a hard time with the bank. The bank was saying yes, this bank was saying no. Buyers were coming in and buyers were coming out. But we actually closed that transaction, and we've already done 2 transactions on it so far, and there's a possible another double transaction on that. On top of that, the property that we originally put the label on, that was in foreclosure, when we met with them after we sold the second property, they said, well, we're ready to move over to Louisiana. So there's a possibility that the original label, we'll still get to be able to sell that property. So that's what this whole thing is all about. And I'm sharing you a real life example on when I first was introduced to Lee and first introduced to this system. I was actually able to, my first week out, I was actually able to get someone to call me, and I sat down with them and I asked them, I said, well, why did you choose me after all of these people that have been coming to your property in regards to you being in foreclosure? Why did you choose me? He said that you had a unique way of marketing and it caught my eye. This system is fail proof. It is fail proof, meaning that someone always comes in and out of their property every day. Someone always comes in and out of their property. So with them coming in and out of their property, if you put something in their way that they actually have to engage in, they have the opportunity to not necessarily throw it away. You know, if it comes in the mail, of course, they're going to, toss it because so many other things are coming there. But here we have a system that definitely works. So right now, I'm going to let Lee Honish talk about the system, and I'm going to turn it over to him and let him talk. Go ahead, Lee.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lee Honish. I am the creator of the Monster Marketing System. I created the system in 2010, and I now currently coach 600 people who've done billions of dollars in real estate transactions. And I'm very proud of the system I created. Last year, it got me named one of the most innovative marketers in America, because what I'm going to tell you today does not require door knocking, cold calling, or mailers. In fact, what we're going to show you literally on the screen is the step-by-step process. No bells, no whistles. You can build it for yourself. Certainly. In fact, I recommend you go out and try it. It took me a few years to develop it correctly, but I'm going to show you the framework that did not exist in 2010. A little background on me. I started in real estate in 1988. I got my real estate license in the 90s. I have been a developer. I have been a realtor. I have been a fix and flipper investor. I have worked for major banks as an asset manager. But I've been a teacher of real estate professionals and investors since 2007. In 2010, I was asked a question: how do I get more listings and deals? It's a simple question. It's the one that people ask me all the time. Some of you may have been on some of my webinars and things of that nature. And that's fantastic. I think what I tell people sounds too good to be true. And I pose it like this: why can't homeowners go online and order us just like they would order anything from Amazon? And the recurring thought that I have is that your brethren, the investors and realtors and people out there who want to get face-to-face with people who want to sell, do not see value in what they provide. And I mean that sincerely. What I'm about to show you is how to deliver yourself to a homeowner. That's as clear and as succinct as I can get it. This all started because I was basically tired of the coaching guru broker model of mail it, pray it, spray it, knock it, drop it, tag it on a bulletin board, tag it on a billboard, stick it in the ground with a stick, and hope someone calls you. There is no way to predict an outcome from any marketing perspective. So I developed my own marketing. The original version was extraordinarily crude. And now we're going on 2016, the 6th annual Monster Marketing Summit. This year we'll be celebrating 6 years. I have comparable coaching to every big name coach you can think of. Everybody's aware of how I do my stuff. I've been running it as an LLC and as a trademark for quite a while. I have no issue showing you exactly how it works, because here's why. The gurus, the coaches, the brokers, they're afraid. And they're afraid because they would have to tell you the truth, that everything they've told you about door knocking, cold calling, mailers, billboards, bus benches, what their brokerage can do for you, what this marketing guy can do for you, is all a lie. It's a lie. It's fantasy land. It doesn't exist. Okay? The reality is the methods you have been taught to do have a 0.5% to 1%, get the word correct, response rating, not a face-to-face rate, okay, which is what I'm going to show you. I get face-to-face. If I go out and physically do marketing, and I'm going to show you exactly the way I do that marketing, exactly the way Fred did that marketing. And Fred can talk about it in more detail. I'm going to show you step by step on how that works. It was done with a product called the Monster. And if you look at your screen, it's really simple. We're going to connect with people who must sell their homes. It's not hard. We all know who they are. So what's the problem? We're going to use the Monster marketing system to capture the appointment and their information, and remember the 3 V's: value in you, valuing your message and your delivery, and valuing your client. And then ultimately follow up with them. This isn't that hard. Now, at any point, if you have questions, Fred's controlling the screen on his end. He can handle questions along the way, or he can interject them.
Yes.
And I certainly hope you will add your own information along the way. What we're going to do is identify properties, and we call them the target. They can be expireds, NODs, tax lien, notice of trustee sale, notice of, you name it, I can use it. You just got to be able to get your hands on it. Once you've identified those properties, your team member is going to put a marketing piece on the property. You're not going to knock on the door. You're not going to meet the homeowner. You're just going to put the marketing piece on the property and go to the next house. By design, the marketing piece is going to prompt the homeowner to call for more information. They're going to want their delivery. The call will go to a call center via a toll-free number that is assigned specifically to you. The live operators at that call center who've been trained on the system will collect the homeowner's information, set an appointment, and you will go and meet with them and share your message. Simple as that. So this is as simple as I can make it. I am a farm guy. I live here in Oceanside, California. That's where I am right now. And that other arrow you see is where my daughter lives. I like picking up my daughter from school. I like taking her to gymnastics. I like having meals with her. She's on vacation right now. After this, we're gonna go get mani-pedis. Hopefully I'm not getting any toes painted today. I've got events coming up in the future. But that means that everything in my life is, and I know we've all read these books, The 4-Hour Work Week. I don't know why people insist on reading books that they're not going to use. So let me give you advice. Everything I do is in a straight line. That means that Oceanside, Vista, and San Marcos are my territories. There are plenty of NODs, there's plenty of notice of trustee sales, there's plenty of expireds, there's plenty of divorced people, there's like all of these things exist. Okay, there are plenty of people who have to sell right now, last week, 2 weeks ago, Thanksgiving, you name it. Okay, people have to sell. It is a year-round occurrence. I don't believe in snow. I don't believe in the holidays. I don't believe in solar eclipses. I don't believe in global apocalypses. When people have to sell, they have to sell. And if you're using information of people who have to sell, they're always in your straight line. So that's as straightforward as I can make it. I use currently Rebo Gateway. You can use Realty Track, you can use Rebo Gateway, you can use RedX, you can use your title company, you can use the MLS. I know some of you states can get away with getting all your data out of your multiple listing service because it's tied into your system. Wherever you can get it, we know who has to sell. The reason I use Rebo Gateway, I can get divorce, expired, BISBO, notice of default, notice of sale, and tax default and probate.
Now, Lee, let me ask you a question. How many times a day are people raising their hand on needing to sell?
All day, every day.
Right.
All day, like all day, every day. I would tell everybody to run the simple experiment of this. Run 3 cities in a straight line for expired listings in the last 60 days that are not listed. Why haven't they relisted? And you're telling me all of those people who are now getting hammered by every realtor on the planet, and I say this sincerely, if somebody has expired in the last 30 to 60 days, they've seen at least 100 realtors try to dance in front of them. And I mean dance. I mean straight up chicken on a hot plate dance to try to get their business. And I'm telling you, I can get face to face with it. It's not hard. It's not difficult. They don't know me. I don't know them, but I'm going to create the referral situation. And that's what we all forget, to let the homeowner decide what we've been told and what is perpetuated in our industry. Go and jam it down their throat, grind them down, overcome the objection, walk past them, go make your own coffee, start taking photos, just this super aggressive, over the top lunacy that makes guys like Donald Trump make jokes about us. And that's the truth. I mean, nobody's liked it since I've said it, But the reality is Donald Trump isn't that far from the truth. Our industry is a laughing stock. Why? Because we've been told since the first day we walked in to walk to the front door and go for the kill immediately and not give up until we have it. And if we do, it's our fault. It's our fault. We didn't try hard enough. You didn't do enough. It's your fault. That's not true. Nobody wants that. You don't want it at your homes. So if I know who has to sell, okay, I've got an opportunity to create a client. That's it. I don't look at it like a closing because you're going to get those huge star. Okay, they're in a blue, they happen. I'm just not a big believer that they're going to happen frequently. So I try to keep it as simple as possible. So the next thing I'm going to do is map out 10 properties a day. I do 10 a day, 4 days a week. That's 40 properties. There's a reason for that. 10 a day, because that'll take 45 minutes to an hour. Fred, when you were tagging, I use MapQuest, by the way, for anybody watching. How many were you putting out a day, and the results were you getting? I mean,
Well,
let's start with the basics. How many tags were you putting out?
I actually, for that first time that I used the example, I put out as you scheduled 16 a day. And
Okay.
when I put in that 16, the total, so I did 2 days.
Okay.
And through those 2 days, I had numerous appointments, but I actually got 2 listings.
Okay. So you did 36 tags, and what we're looking for is a minimum response rate, what we call our minimum response rate of 20%. That's generally what my response rate is, about 20%. So if I'm putting up 40 tags, I'm getting 8 phone calls. Okay, that
Right.
doesn't mean I'm converted to a face-to-face rate for anybody who understands marketing.
And that was right. When by the time I got home from putting down the labels, I literally had, the numbers don't lie, I literally had 20% of those phone calls of people calling me, asking me what was I there for. And
Right.
so that opened the door for me to talk with them.
And the reality is this, and I'll say it to everybody, and everybody gets confused by that. Well, they called, therefore they want you to come. No, they don't. They really don't. They really, 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 really don't all want you to come to the front door. And I don't care what the data type is you select. They really all don't want to see you. They really all pretty much hate realtors, which means you got to go one person at a time and build a new client list. So when you get to the house, what you're looking at on the screen is a marketing piece. This isn't the one Fred used. This is the one I use for these live demonstrations on the web. Why? It's one that I tested out last year at last year's mastermind. It does okay. I don't mind if people look at it, come up with their own ideas, but I guarantee that's not the one Fred used. I guarantee he used the one we call the X model.
Yes, I did. Monster
The
X.
Monster X. Monster X is by far the single most popular one that we have. So I'm wondering, I know we have people in the room and I can't really see you, but you guys are looking at the screen. The question is this, and I pose it to all of you. If you came home and found this on your house, would you call for a delivery? And I'm sure that a few people are going to respond, Fred, and if they're not, they'll probably lie. This was originally done in what I call registered pink. It was okay. Just didn't get the results I wanted. I thought that maybe being clever, I would somehow find a better version of the X model, but still to this date, the best model we have is called Monster X, and it's by far the best marketing piece I've ever created. I put it on the outside of the mailbox or on the garage door or on the front door. Fred, where do you like to put yours?
I actually put mine because most of the time, what I understand, most times some people are home, and I don't really want to engage with the sellers or the potential clients that are there. So I actually put it to the place where I think they're going to come in, the closest place, which is most time the garage. And because that's the most time where either they're going to lift up the garage, go in and go through the house, or they're going to walk through the walkway. But if you can't get it on the garage, to get it right on the door where they open,
Yeah.
that's the best. That's the best place.
And the question that I often get in these situations is, well, what do I do for gated communities? Use your realtor key, go into the community. Somebody in that community is selling their house. Go put it on their house. The other question I get is like Chicago and New York. What do we do when they're condos or high rises? Okay, where do they get their mail? Go put it there. Can't put it on their front door. I see, I'm fascinated with this. I think that there's a streak of laziness out of realtors, and I don't mean any of you on the call. You're making the opportunity to be here, but I constantly get with this method, wow, that seems like a lot of work. Really, you'd rather spend $2,000 for 5 phone calls on a bad mail program instead of putting up 10 marketing pieces that are going to generate 1 to 2 face-to-face appointments. That's pretty ridiculous in my universe. I will spend 45 minutes of putting up marketing pieces to get 1 appointment, and I know I'm getting it every time. So when they come home, they will call, right? That's not hard. We use a call center in our system. We have a referral. It's about $60 a month. It's a private contract that you take out when you join the program. These call scripts have been in place and running for literally 5 years. They have been perfected over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 years because of our coaching group and the realtors that use it. And when I say the realtors that use it, I'm talking about a top 2% in the nation, top 1% in Nevada, top 1% in Utah. David Bartels, who's on our advisory board, was just on the cover of Top Agent magazine. It's 30% of his business. Marianne Schmelz, it's all of her business. She maintains 17 listings. This isn't hype. This is, you can go on the web and talk to these people. I'm not hiding them. I'm not propping them up. I'm not putting them in a special location. These are legitimate people who use this for, the big players use it for about 30% of their business. Because the reality is, for new start marketing, that's all of your business. This is all of your business, period. I would hope your referral is a different arm, and I would hope your web is a different arm, which has been a lot of topic in my current coaching group. So when they call in, we make sure to capture their cell phone number, daytime phone number, their email address, and set an appointment on my schedule. Mine are Wednesday nights, Thursday nights, and Saturday mornings. Why? Because I am a single divorced father, and it's based on my schedule, not the homeowners. Okay, they're lucky to talk to me. I know that I have value when I go and talk to somebody. Even as an investor, I'm an investor. I'm not going to hide from this. I'm an investor. Fred's a realtor. Fred's there for the listing ultimately. I'm there to buy their house ultimately. I'm in a more difficult position than a realtor. Okay, these people have to sell at some point. So all you literally have to do as a realtor is go and meet them and babysit them. I don't have that option. I got to go meet them, get them to trust me, and then sell me their house. And they have to trust me enough to sell me their house, okay, without a realtor getting involved so that I can keep the prices down. So I've got to be even nicer than all of you. And the reason I can do it is because I've already got a referral, because the call center did all the work. Their job is to schedule the appointment, set the daytime phone number, and get the email address. And ultimately, I get my appointment. When I get to the front door, I've got my icebreakers. I'm armed with my custom-made packages. And that's all I do. I brand them, I meet them, and I spend 30 to 40 minutes with them, first appointment every time, and then follow up. That's it. I don't have any magic bells or whistles. The system you're looking at has been in place and running for 5 straight years. It has provided very well for me and my family. I'm a very happy coach with what I am doing at the moment. Most of you guys are looking and hustling to find listings because you got to pay for Christmas last year. I'm telling you this, I'm doing this webinar because it's a favor to Fred today. Otherwise, I would be on vacation until next Monday. I don't have a problem with it. I don't need to do webinars each and every day. I don't need to keep pushing my product. And the reason I'm telling you all that is because this works. I don't think it works. I know it works. I've used the product. So maybe you want to pick it up with the front door conversation, Fred.
Okay, so basically what we do is when we get the labels taken care of, as you said, we prepare everything. We go from public records to get the information that we need, people that have raised their hands and said that I need help. And so if there are investors on the line and then also realtors on the line, you look at it at a different way. For investors, yes, you're looking to help help that person get out of that predicament. As a realtor, your end result is you want to get that listing. But remember this, if you go just looking for the listing, the seller will know that you're not genuine. And so they will still, even after the label, put their hands up and say, no way. You have to approach the door as you were there as an assistant to help them through the process. If they say that they want to get a loan modification, they don't know everything that's involved in that, but you as a professional do. So now you have the opportunity to educate that person on what their options are. And so the label is just one portion of the system. The other part of the system, and I think that's why Lee said, I can show you the label all day long, but if you don't know
Right.
what to do with the label, it doesn't mean anything. So once you get face to face with the client, now you have to address their issues, because their issues are different than those who just know that they want to sell, and they want to sell right away. And so when you look at it, and when you say, okay, when I get there, what am I going to do? The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to let them know I'm a counselor here to let you know, to see whether or not I can help you through the process. A home loan advocate. That's what David Bartel uses as being a home loan advocate. What's an advocate? An advocate means that I'm going to help you through the process any way that I can. This is not just a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and I'm gone. I want to help you through the process, and I want to build a relationship with you, so that as I build that relationship with you, you can trust me a little bit more. So once we get the label, once we get the calls, once we get the appointment to go out, now we have to arm ourselves with some information that will let them know that we do know that you do know what you're talking about. I had an instant where I had a client. Well, I call them clients, all of them that I go to. It seems as though they were waiting on the outside for me to come, because it seems as though as I came and left the label, they were there and said, no, we don't need anything. We don't need anything. And so eventually they turned around and called my 800 number and scheduled an appointment. So when they scheduled the appointment, the labels are so that you think that you're actually getting a delivery from either UPS or FedEx or something like that. So it piques their interest, that actually gives you the ability to have permission based marketing, meaning that you have the permission to knock on the door. I don't know how many of out there have you ever approached a person or a home that was in foreclosure, and you were very nervous coming up to the door because you did not know how they were going to react, because they did not expect you at the door. Well, with this system, everyone you come in contact with expects you at the door. Now, if you don't want the appointment, and I'll let this, if you do not want the appointment, call the person and tell them that you're coming at the scheduled time that you said that you were coming. And so I say that jokingly, but remember, they took the label, they called the number, the people on the other end at the call center made the appointment for you. And so since they made the appointment for you, that first appointment is going to be very important. Now, let me tell you, when I first did this, I literally had to call the call center and say, hold up and wait, because the first day I went out, I came home, put out 16 labels. I got about 9 calls back. And those calls said, can you come back today? And so I had to do some interesting thing. I learned a lot. And so what I did was I called the call center and I said, if you get a call today, please do not make an appointment for at least 24 hours. And that allowed me the ability to get the paperwork and everything I need according to that property. So now, once I get to the door, I have permission to be there. And I'm letting them know my name is Fred. I'm a realtor. I'm also a home loan advocate, and I'm here to assist you. What has the bank done to you? And that there right there is what they're dealing with. What has the bank done to you? Well, they have a few answers. Well, they haven't returned my calls, or I'm going through loan modification, but I haven't heard anything yet. And so the client that I went to, they were sitting out there waiting. And so He said, I don't need anything from you. Now, mind you, he was waiting outside. So as I'm coming up, driving up, he comes up to my car. And so he said, I don't need it. So I had to have this conversation in the driver's seat, and he was on the passenger side window. And I said, listen, I said, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to help you through this process. I know this is a difficult time. And if they told you that they were going to do this for you, I just want to make sure that you have the information in hand that you need so that you'll know how to proceed. And he fought me for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then he said, okay, let me look at it. And so we ended up that conversation. And looking at that conversation and looking back, I was able to help them through that process. Yes, they were able to get a temporary loan modification, but guess what? They're still in my database. So I can still reach out to them because I have their name, their email, their phone number, and their address. I have everything I need in order to market to them. So now when I leave the door, at least they have information that has all of my contact information, so that when they get frustrated, guess who they're going to call first? They're not going to call the people that have mailed them postcards or sent that 6-letter foreclosure letter process, or have said, you need to do this right away, or they're going to take your home. So that's what you do when you get to the door. Is that all right, Lee?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. I don't know if there's any questions, we can answer them at this time. I'm sure there must be
Yeah,
a
I
few
want
people.
if you have any questions, I want you to go ahead and comment on the Facebook page. I'm watching it, so I did click and say, "Let us know who is on the Hangout." Now, if you cannot get to that page, go ahead and give me a call. Give me a call at 424-294-8188. And so because we're testing out, Lee, let them know we're testing out this this Google Hangout strictly on Facebook, which we're marketing so that we can get to, Facebook is adding 50,000 users per day, 50,000 users per day. And so I don't see why I should not utilize. And guess what? It's free.
I agree.
So if you have any comments, go ahead and put them in the comment box, or call me at 424-294-8188 and let me know what your issues are if you cannot get the comments in. But go ahead, Lee.
No, that's exactly right. I'm sure many of you are wondering, since we built this out, or possibly having Fred mentor you, I would recommend, again, to call Fred so that we can talk to you on a one-on-one basis. We're literally just testing all this out. I don't know what the response is going to be. I don't know what, it's not like GoToWebinar. It's not like anything that I've been a part of before. So I don't know how many of you guys were in here. I don't know how many people stayed. I don't know how many people want. I would just say this: if you want more information, pass along that information to Fred, and he or I will give you a call, and we'll find out and figure out something that works best for you, so that you can start. Like, literally, if you tag tomorrow, that's what we call it, tagging.
Right.
If you put up 10 to 20 marketing pieces tomorrow, you will have approximately 2 to 4 meetings within 24 hours with homeowners who are in a position to sell. It is that simple. I've been doing it long enough that I actually guarantee the results that we're talking about. I guarantee you will get face-to-face. There is
hold on, Lee.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let's make this. First of all, I want to say thank you, Jackie, for chiming in and let us know that you're listening. But you just said guaranteed. You guarantee that if you put up 16 labels, that you're going to get 3 face-to-face.
Yeah, I would always say at 16, I guarantee 2 at that number. But that's the low end of the number.
Yeah.
It's 1.6 people. That's the 10% rate. But the reality, and it's a good point to bring up, I've been to NAR, I've been to CAR, I've been to the expos, I traveled to Tri-State. I know what everybody else has for marketing. In fact, there's a marketing event coming up in January in Vegas, a 2-day event, not mine, somebody else's. And it's all about conversion. Has nothing to do with how to get the actual appointment. I don't think any of you guys really need to know how to convert anymore. Like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that there is any more training to be had on how to script and how to grind and how to convert. I physically don't believe it anymore. I'm not even remotely in that track. Although I am sending my head trainer because they're going to teach conversion on FSBO and expireds, I believe. So if I can get people to the front door, and now my coaches are trained in how to better teach people to convert on expired or FSBO or divorce, that's a benefit to you. So people who join our coaching programs are with us for life. My process has improved each and every year. I'm thinking of adding a website and a web element next year. I'm going to release it at the Monster Marketing event that we hold at the end of March. Winds up being the beginning of April, but the end of March. And what we're doing at this release this year, I've figured out you guys need a web element. You need a generic web element in your life, because you guys don't understand. The minute you leave, they're going to go Google you. And if they can't find you, right, if they can't physically find you, then they're not going to trust you. So the goal is to create more trust on a quicker basis. So we're getting ready to add that element. And when I do, guess what? The price is going to go up dramatically.
And
Why?
Lee, let me hold that hold that why.
Okay.
But I want to respond to Beverly. Yes, we do have a packet that we leave with the homeowner,
Mm-hmm.
and that packet that we leave with the homeowner, of course, as Lee said, he doesn't need to train us how to convert. We just have to have the right information to leave the homeowner to make sure that they have our information, that we're top of the mind with them, and so the packet that you leave that's the end all, because you don't want to you're not going to the door to get the listing that day. What you want them to do is you want to be able to be in that position of education to let them know that you know what you're talking about. So yes, with the Monster system, we have a packet that after you leave the label, after you get face to face, now you have something that you can talk with them, and you can go verbatim what's on the pages that shares with them what their options are. Go ahead, Lee, the why.
Yeah, no, that's fine. If you're looking at the screen, what you're seeing right now are 3 basic packages: our default package, expired package, and our divorce package. For the default package, you're going to have a call center. You got to sign up. You got to have it, or I'm not going to guarantee your results. You need the labels to go put on the front door, right? You need the introduction letter that introduces you to the client. Like literally, you can read it to them. A disclosure: you're an advocate working as a realtor, which is why I'm approved by the state of California, which is why my marketing, as crazy as it sounds, is actually approved by the Department of Real Estate and the Bureau of Real Estate. Why? Because we are transparent when we go to the front door. We disclose why we're there. We hand them a physical disclosure. We take a copy of their notice of default or their notice of trustee sale. We give you bonus training videos on overcoming objections and how to do the whole thing. Plus you get one-on-one training, plus you get mentoring with Fred. You get a lot of stuff, right? And even how to understand loan modifications so that you can explain them. Same thing for expired, same thing for divorce. And because we have a relationship with an attorney, we have a complete probate package as well as part of our startup kits. And everything we have is editable. You just insert your name and it's ready to go. These are brand new. These are as of December. These are brand new pieces. So I'm constantly building and adapting and creating better marketing materials for all of you. And it's always a benefit to the group. I don't rest. My coaching group has paid one price when they got in. They've been getting free masterminds year round. They've been getting free email support. They get these amazing one-on-one startup calls. They get amazing mentors like Fred. And we think of ourselves as a cult. I mean, it's really, like, to say that is kind of weird, but it is a lifestyle. We truly believe in this advocacy lifestyle of going to the door and building clients that are ours for life. In fact, right now in our coaching group, if you're looking at my screen, because we are talking about Facebook, and I'll show you. Right now in Facebook, I'll show you our coaching group and what they're up to. Okay, our group right now, for some reason, got all fired up over the Christmas break, and it became a competition of how many tags could they put up and how many appointments could they get. And I know that sounds crazy because they've been around for a while, and it's been off again, on again for the coaching group. So just to prove to you that this is happening, David Bartels is one of our trainers. Marianne Schmelz, unexpected Christmas morning, thank you. We do advocacy work and it's the right thing to do. Never expected anything, but this is what's happening. These are people going and getting listings on Christmas. Wade Huey, brand new student, engaging. Where is the one where they were like getting on a whole kick about, oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you, I got 7 appointments this week. Marianne, that was December 10th. I mean, that's crazy. Here it
You
is,
know how
Marianne.
awesome it is to get I mean, just to get appointments. That means that you've connected with someone that necessarily they may not call you, but you already have that one-on-one with them. But here's the key. As a realtor, one thing that you need as far as listings, you need contact information. And so you already have that contact information that you can put them on a drip campaign to keep yourself in front of them. Now, Lee, Susan asked a question on how do you address a homeowner when you arrive who had previously listed the home or going through a divorce so they don't shut the door in your face when you arrive. Now,
If they're
Susan,
previously listed, I tend to scrub those, so I didn't tag the house if I see that there's a sign in the yard. I mean, that's legitimate.
well,
I don't even.
I think
Go
she
ahead.
means the expired ones.
Oh, the expired ones. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
the awesome thing about that is they called you, you did not call them. What coaches say today, this is what coaches say today in regards to going out and get expired listings. They say, go ahead and call the expired listing and tell them, I know that you've listed your house before, but why don't you hire the right agent? That is the script that they use. Well, what we use is this. You place the label. Once you place the label, they're calling you. You're not calling them. They're calling you saying, what is this package? And when you get to the door, whether it be, I've never had someone invite me to their house and close the door in my face because they invited me.
Ever.
So here they've invited you to the door. And so now you're going to say, listen, you're going to be as personal as you can be because you are a real estate consultant, salesperson. And you say, listen, I know that you've had a lot of people come to you asking to relist. What I left you and what you called, because you have to remind them, I'm here because of the call and the appointment that you made on the label that we left. And I wanted to leave you some literature to help you to show you how I can better help you and serve you in the sale of your home. Where were you moving to? So now it becomes a relationship rather than just a sales pitch. And that's the key, Susan. You want to make it a relationship and not a sales pitch.
Absolutely. Hold on, my earpiece fell out. But one of the things that we talked about in a special breakout group that I've been running is what I call the icebreaker. And one of the best lines that was created for the default category can be used for expired listings, which is, I would really like, before I go, I wanted to tell you about the quarter interest rate going up. I wanted to tell you days on market have gone up. I just wanted you to know that the market you're waiting for to happen is probably going to take a lot longer. And I'm sure you have a lot of bills that have piled up over the holidays and you might be thinking about selling again. If that's the case, I just wanted to ask one thing before I left. And this is the simple question. You can do it with divorce, you can do it with expired, you can do it with defaulted people. With expired people, the question is, I just want to know, can you tell me all about the other realtors and some of the things they've done to try to meet with you? And let them go. They will basically give you a list of everything awful that realtors have done. They will. They'll tell you everything. Oh, they waited outside my house. They knock at all hours of the day. They keep calling my cell phone. I can't even pick it up anymore. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I'm harassed every single day by a realtor trying to get my listing. Yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't want to do any of those things, but I do want to follow up with you because there was a 0.25% interest rate hike, and that has affected pricing on houses. Is it okay next week if I get you some more information if the market changes? That's it. That's it. It's not even rocket science.
You know what, Lee? The hardest part of the system, and yes, there is a hard part. Here's the hardest part of the system, and it's 2 words: doing it.
Yeah. That's why I was scrolling down to Elgin's comment from December 7th. Now, if you look at these comments that are on the screen, these are existing students who are saying that December is a good month for getting listings. When have
Mhm.
you ever heard that in real estate? And I'm telling you this on the professional level of reading NAR reports. They have what's called a seasonal adjustment because they expect people don't want to sell during December. That is not something that we experience in my universe. Elgin's great. He's a KW agent up in Santa Clarita, and he put up 10 monsters this morning, and he got 2 confirmed appointments. And he's got it right. It works if you do. That's it.
Yeah.
That is our catchphrase. That's all there is to it. And it inspires people who haven't tagged in a while. It inspires new people. These are everyday realtors just like yourself. Marianne maintains about 17 listings. Her husband was in the hospital, got 4 listings to shake out over the 30-day period. I'm just telling you, it happens and it works. There are people who miss payments. There are people who are expired. There are people going through divorces. These are as real as it gets.
Lee, go back to your slide with the divorce, the expireds, and the foreclosures. You have that slide?
Yeah. So the 3 different packages, we have a default, expired, and divorce package. They're all personalized. You just add your name and they're ready to go. It's as simple as that. Plus everything you'll need to include along with, whatever information. We include all that. You need that information for them. Do I think it's important? I think the value is ultimately in you at the front door. But if you, and I mean this, and I don't want anybody to take it the wrong way. If you need to hide behind the package as the delivery, that's fine. Until you get comfortable going to the front door, I don't expect anybody to be somebody who does 20 or 30 transactions in a year right out of the gate. I don't think anybody's prepared to go to the front door immediately and have a 30 or 40-minute conversation. So you can use these packages to help you get there. And that's fine in the beginning.
And the interesting thing is that you don't have to worry about people yelling at you on the phone or doing that because one, they called. And very important about the call center is the best investment that you can make is because they take the brunt of the argument. So I've had people at first I kind of got um, personally hurt because the call center, when they take the call, they will tell you exactly what the person said. And so when I first got some calls and when I got the email that said, this person says, don't come to my house again. I'm going to sue you if you do, so of course, you don't, guess what? You don't have to take that call. The call center takes all the blunt of that. But then aside from them saying that, guess what? You know now that you can take them off your list. You don't have to contact them again. I sometimes accidentally sent it to the same person, and they again said, "Listen, if you don't stop coming to my door and putting these labels on my door, I'm gonna." You can have fun with it. You can have fun with it. The person that you go to the door with has already approved you to be at the door.
Yes, I completely agree. So why don't you give out your phone number one more time, Fred, so that they can get a hold of you and find out more information.
Okay, if you want to reach out to me, the number is 424-294-8188. It's also at the bottom of your Hangout, at your Hangout screen also. Now, I don't know what we do with whether you want to know what you do with this system and whether or not this system is for you. We just let you know if you just refresh your page, there's another button that says get instant access here, and it explains it a little bit more. I use the conditioning that I told Lee. There's something that McDonald's does, and you saw it on the introduction video, is that when you go to any McDonald's restaurant, A Big Mac is made with 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. So, what that means is whether I'm going to a McDonald's in Beverly Hills, in Torrance, in Carson, in Compton, in Inglewood, in LA, or even across the water in Paris, France, when I go into McDonald's, I'm going to get a Big Mac that has 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. All the employees that cook or make Big Macs, when they go in, they're taught to create a Big Mac with 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. And the Monster system allows you to have this cookie cutter in order to get listings in 2016. I guarantee it. Lee guarantees it that you will get face to face with clients that you normally would not have gotten face to face with. So, for those of you that are on the webinar on today, want you to know that it's not just a farce. It actually does work. And if you want to see a little bit more, if you want to test out the system, well, if you want to purchase the system, go ahead, Lee. You can talk about that.
Yeah, certainly. I would tell you this: if you went online, the entire system itself costs just a hair under $2,500 online over a 6-month period. It's got a monthly passive fee. If you call Fred or you click on his link, you can do it for a lot less, and you get one additional bonus as well. You will get Fred as your personal mentor as well. He's going to help you and walk you through the process and set you up, and you will have an ally in your corner who has done the same process as you. You'll get the manual, you'll get access to our masterminds, you'll get access to our weekly group coaching calls. For those that take action today, I will put you in a personal group that I'm running through the month of January, where you will work with me. So you're basically getting an extra bonus call on top of it at 9 a.m. in the morning. All of these are considerably less with the link that is provided with you, or if you call Fred and work with him directly. I will tell you the direction of where this product is going. For those of you who don't know anything about information systems at all, once I add the what they call a CRM element, and I include the web element, I'm going to break this down under licensing fees, which means not only will you have to purchase it, you will have to pay for the licensing of the product, because we will have it branded with logos and things of that nature, because it's starting to cross over. It was originally built as a way to work with notice of default and notice of fails. But what's happened over the last several months is we are now becoming very experienced with expireds, divorce, and probates as well, which means and FSBOs. They're kind of rare in California, but they do exist. We are, with that in mind, that means I now have a platform to get face-to-face with homeowners on a much larger level. And that means I can do it on demand. And that's why we work so diligently on those conversion points. So you have access to all that. With us, it's a one-time pay and you're in for life. Our mastermind is coming up April 2nd. It's 100% free, as it always is for our coaching students. That'll be held in Las Vegas. It's a full day event, plus an hour of private Q&A time with the actual coaching team. Fred will be there. I haven't actually asked him yet, but I pretty much know the answer before I ask him. He's going to be one of the speakers at the event. He was last year. I don't know why he wouldn't be this year. Elgin will be one of the speakers. I'm actually toying with Marianne being one of the speakers. People look at it from the surface and they look at our event and they go, wow, what a great marketing event. The truth is the event is designed for my coaching students so that they can watch it in a full day clip of, okay, here's Lee, here's the system. Here's David talking about distressed properties. Okay, now let's get 3 realtors in as well and let them talk about conversion for an hour apiece. It's a really solid day. And then we do Q&A at the very end and answer any question people have and fine tune the system. So that's all included. We do that usually twice a year, sometimes more. The minimum we've ever done is 1, but generally it's twice a year, depending on my mood. Anything else you'd like to add?
Well, I want to say thank you for everyone who joined on today. I'm a newbie at this. Lee, as Lee said, he didn't have to do it, but I'm one that is persistent in asking him and calling him and saying, please, Lee, please, I need you, I need you. And so he so graciously came on board with us doing this hangout. He had to spruce up my confidence in doing this. So, Lee, I'm letting you know that I'm going to be doing another Google Hangout on next Tuesday at noon. Also, what we're going to be
Awesome.
talking about is we'll probably be talking about the package that we leave the clients and how we engage with them. So,
Awesome.
for those that are on board now and don't get the system or get the system, I'm still here to help you in any way that I can to help you get listings, because listings is where you make most of your money. In fact, listings is where you make at least 90% of your money. And to give
Of
you an
course.
example, even without this system, I've always been a distressed property expert. I started in 2005. In my first year, the trainers told me that you need to start off with buyers, and so I pretty much didn't want to do that. So my first year, I did 20 listings and made $130,000 my first year in real estate. And now I'm on track to even double that with this system. When you put yourself in the place of, just like Elgin Walker says, all you have to do is do it. The hard part of the system is not doing it. And when you look at yourself and you say, I have 45 minutes, that's all I need, 45 minutes to an hour to put out 10 to 16 labels, what will that hurt you? If 10 to 16 labels is going to give you 2 to 5 appointments, if that is going to happen, then I think that is a good benefit. I believe it is. Yes. So um, do you, for those that are on the line, if you can, Anna, Susan, those that are on the line, if it's interested, Beverly, if you guys want to have more information, we don't want to bog you down because we know your businesses are important, and we started at 12, and we want to be very cautious about your time in the business. Next Tuesday at 12 o'clock, also, we'll be doing a hangout, sharing with you more that will actually help you get listings in 2016. I want to take the time to thank Lee for actually taking his time out to share and to share the monster system. Even though I know it, I can't share it as much as he can. But I really thank him for coming out, and I'm looking forward to the Las Vegas event as we do it. So stay focused on our Facebook page. You still have access to that. We're going to have a good time trying to help you, because there's no shortage of listings out there. So there's no competition really when it comes to getting these stunts. And with the new probate package, man, it just adds to the benefit of the monster system. So if you're interested in the monster system, if you're interested, um, Lee said it's considerably lower. The price that we're offering is at 947, and that's a one-time fee, and then you have lifetime access. If you want more information, you can click the get instant access here button, and that will take care of you. You will have everything accessible. You have videos accessible, you have documents accessible, you will have everything that you need to get off of the webinar and go place labels right then. That is how powerful this system is. So I want to encourage you that if you have any questions, if you have any comments, go ahead and leave them in the link box, or then also give me a call at 424-294-8188. That's 424-294-8188. And my email is fhoward@kw.com. I am so glad that you all came and joined us here on this Google Hangout. And I'm excited about the technology that we can use in order to get buyers and sellers face to face with us. So thank you. I appreciate you all coming in and hope to connect with you soon. Do you have anything to say, Lee?
No, thank you everybody for being here. Fred, thank you for letting me be a part of your hangout today. And I would say this, go out and try to change the industry a little bit. I mean, we've taken too many black eyes as of late. And I think if people go out there with the attitude of being an advocate and building clients for life, which is the way we used to be taught how to do it, at least when I got into the business, that's how it was taught to me, instead of what do I need to say to get the listing? I think your business in 2016 will be that much greater.
Yes. Well, I want to tell everyone you all have a happy new year. Don't do too much on December 31st so that you can make it to January 1st. I hope you encourage, uplift, strengthen all those that are around you, and know that the business that you have is your business and you can only go as far as you allow yourself to go. So I encourage you to stay encouraged, stay in business, and don't let others tell you you cannot do it. God bless everyone. Talk to you soon. See you on the other side.
Thank you.